why I stopped smoking marijuana, cigarettes, black and mild, all that. I stopped smoking it all, but it's not something that happened overnight. Um, if you didn't hear my story on like how I started smoking marijuana back in college, I'm gonna save that for you at the end. I'm gonna have you click this tab that I'm gonna put up on the screen, and then you can click that video and watch that video. But first, I want to tell you like the ultimate reason of why I stopped smoking marijuana and like how I feel now versus from what I felt like back then. And I'm a judge-free guy. I actually still have lots of friends that still smoke marijuana. Some of my friends smoke cigarettes. Some of my friends like black and milds. I was a big lover of all three, but to each his own. Everybody can do and is entitled to do whatever they so shall please. But this is just my book. This is just my book, and anybody can pick this book off the shelf if they want to. I mean, it got a good cover on it. Wasn't a thumbnail nice? But anyway, so come to my consensus now that I'm 29 years old, looking back on who I was back, maybe 6, 7 years ago when I did smoke marijuana and stuff like that. The ultimate reason of why I really quit smoking marijuana was because I was becoming more and more conscious. You know what I mean? Like I was becoming more and more conscious of myself. Cause like back when I used to smoke weed, a lot, every day, I had to have it. I had to have it in order to function, in order to like think deep. I felt like I had to have it. Back then I was doing music. In order to feel like I need to write the best rhymes, I had to have it. Before I go hang out with some girls, before I go to the mall, before I hit the club, whatever, I had to have it. Like I had to have it because it had become a habit. And believe it or not, even though, marijuana is legal in some states and, pharmacy sells it or whatever, it's still like a drug. It's still something that like, for instance, like pharmacy gives you pharmaceutical pills and stuff over the counter. And some people become addicted to that stuff. There are things that people become addicted to, and like marijuana is one of them. You can literally become addicted to smoking marijuana if you start to feel like, every time you feel good, you have to have it. It's the same thing with cigarettes. Every time you feel like, you need to get this little feeling of, like feeling like whatever the feeling may be, you will smoke a cigarette. And so some things we become addicted to. I mean, let's admit, I was addicted to smoking weed, but I got to a point where I was like, I would be with females or whatever, and they would, say things like, your breath stink, or you like, what you been smoking? And they'd be like, what you eat today? And something like, nah, I'm good. But it was the stench from the marijuana in my mouth, because it leaves a really foul stench in your mouth that is easily tasted if you kissing somebody, and also, when you smoking marijuana in your home, I mean, it gets all in your fabric. I mean, it's the first thing somebody smells when they walk into your home. I remember when I stayed in apartments, like when I was staying in Atlanta or whatever, like somebody below me used to smoke marijuana. And when I used to come into my apartment or whatever, I used to smell the stench or the smell of marijuana coming through the vents. It's that strong. And it's the same thing with my car. It's the same thing with my car that I used to have. I used to drive a Honda, and it was clean. It had fabric seats in it. And I even had a Mazda Millennia with leather seats. And I used to smoke weed in both of these cars. And I remember people getting in my car that I had to give them a ride to work or something like that. They'd be telling me, boy, you got that fire, don't you? And I'm just like, nah, I ain't even been smoking today, man. Boy, I smell that thing. It's hitting, boy. It's hitting. I'm just like, I ain't even been smoking today, but I brushed it off, like it wasn't nothing. But, maybe when it was gone or whatever, I would think about like dang, my car really smelled like that. Like, it really smelled like this fire I be smoking every day. Like, what if I get pulled over by the police and my thoughts used to think and run rampant. And I'm just like, oh man, like what if I get pulled over by the police and they smell it and I don't even have nothing on me, and they search me, and then they like plant something on me or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, I mean, like, I was just thinking about all these things. Like, what if I get caught actually having some weed in my car? You know, what if I get caught like just walking in the mall and I'm smelling like pure weed? You know, because I just got through, you know, blazing in my car, hot boxing in my car, and then I went into the mall and the police walked beside me, and he decided to ask me for my ID and just search me right there. And then when he searched me right there, he found the dime or the dub in my pocket, like right there, you know what I mean? And then he took me to jail. I started thinking about all this stuff because when you high, you just think about all kind of stuff. And so, you know, the more and more I just started thinking, the more and more it led me to like reading and stuff. Like, this is like when I was smoking weed, then that's when I was really like knowledgeable. Like, I was really like looking up information on the internet. I was studying myself and reading books. I was just fascinated about life, just fascinated on how to, you know, do my life the best way I can. You know, and I would always read like psychology books and, you know, stuff to help out, you know, my mind, my body, my soul. Like, how can I put myself this much more ahead, you know, by reading this information while I'm high. This is the perfect time to do it while I'm very high, you know. And that's when I didn't even realize it would be happening like that. But that's why I'm here now, like, because I was on this journey. Like, to me, smoking marijuana was a journey, because I never knew I would be on here telling stories and telling people like you, like, why I stopped smoking. I never knew I was gonna be talking about like why I stopped smoking marijuana or why I stopped smoking Black and Milds and stuff. You know, I didn't know I was gonna be doing this, but it was like a part of my story because I became more conscious. Like, the more I began to read like these metaphysical books and books about the human body and how much the human body is capable of, and how great you should treat the human body and all the cells in the body, what they need to reproduce more good cells. You know, the mind, how it could easily be polluted if you do such and such things, if you eat this type of food, if you do that, if you smoke a cigarette, this is what it could do to the brain. Looking up the scientific facts about things. Like, I was looking up the science about things. I was looking up the science of like what it like to be inhaling smoke into your body, which is, you know, what God calls a temple, like to be inhaling smoke in your body, where all the cells, you know, they cover for you, they look out for you, they help you, you know, they keep you alive. Everything about your body, you know, is trying to help you be a greater person. And for me to be like inhaling this toxic, I mean, it's toxic because it's toxic. Me being inhaling this toxic stuff that's coming from who knows where into my body and blowing it out just to say I'm inhaling it and blowing it out. I'm inhaling it and I'm blowing it out just to get like a feeling. I'm like, I mean, come on. I mean, I just started to think about it. I just started thinking about it like metaphysically. Like, okay, so I'm smoking this marijuana just because, I mean, it just gives me a feeling. Like, I mean, think about it. I mean, because I know I wasn't smoking it to be cool, but then maybe again I was. I know I wasn't smoking it to be cool. I know I wasn't smoking it to be like super smart or anything, but I thought, you know, it was trying to make me super smart, but I don't know. I just was aware, and I realized that in one moment when I was smoking, like, I'm just smoking this because I'm holding a little thing in my hand and I'm inhaling on it like that, and I'm blowing out smoke like that because I'm searching for a particular feeling. Like, really? Like, I was like, yo. And so when I started thinking about it from that perspective, because you can think about smoking from different perspectives, but when I started to be conscious and think about it from that perspective, it started to make me like not even want to even smoke it anymore, because all the information that I was reading about the human body and how the human body can heal itself and how the human body doesn't need anything like external to make it function at the highest potential, you know, I began to just realize all the little things that I was doing on my journey, you know, the habits I was doing, it wasn't really like doing any justice or any good for my human body. Like I mean, I wanted to be at a higher potential in life. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be considered great. You know, I want to be like this world class guy. And you know, to me, it's just like, I mean, I personally wouldn't want to be with a female that smokes cigarettes all the time. You know, I personally wouldn't want to be with a female who come in the house with a black and mild in her mouth all the time. I wouldn't want to be with a female if we going out to a formal event. She felt like she had to get high before we go into this like formal event. You know, I wouldn't want to be with a female who wake up in the morning and be right there rolling up right there at the bed. You know what I mean? And then go in the kitchen and make me some pancakes and eggs. I mean, and then when we done eating, she rolling up again, you know what I'm saying? And then after she rolled up and we done smoked again, I come home and then she in the crib, she rolling up again. I just be like, yo, come on, man, let's focus. Let's focus. Like, and so like I began to become more conscious, man. I began to become more conscious on my journey, and I just started to realize like I didn't need it. You know, I liked it if it made me feel good, but why can't I become much more intelligent without having to have something that make me feel like I'm intelligent? You know what I mean? Why I gotta, you know, back then I was just thinking like, you know, why I gotta write my rhymes when I'm under the influence of a substance that's outside of my body? Why can't my mind think like, you know, why can't my mind think 100% without anything going into my body? You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it just dawned on me. And after the weed stopped, you know, after I just stopped smoking weed, that's when I, you know, just chain smoked on cigarettes and stuff, you know, and then I got tired of that because it's like the more smarter you get, like the more smarter you get and the more intelligent that you get about, you know, the human body and the mind and the soul and life and stuff. It's like you start to realize that most of the things that were put into your life were just there to distract you. Like cigarettes is just a distraction. You know what I mean? A lot of people feel like they got to smoke a cigarette like when they're having a conversation on the phone. You know, after they get through doing something extraneous. You know, they got to have a cigarette when they're doing something they got to think about hard. Most people reading a book, they got to have a cigarette. Why do you got to have a cigarette because you're reading a book? Why do you got to have a cigarette right after you're eating? Like, it's just a habit in the mind that is yet to be broken. It's like not needed. It's just something, it's a trigger that causes somebody to smoke a cigarette after these events or before an event. You know what I'm saying? And that's not normal. And so it was the same thing with Black and Milds. I used to smoke Black and Milds, wine Black and Milds, regular Black and Milds, cherry Black and Milds, strawberry Black and Milds. I used to smoke all the flavors. My favorite one was wine. But then I got tired of the wine. The wine started giving me headaches, and then I started to smoke the regular ones because the regular ones I went filled with all that flavor. And so, like I said, the more conscious I got, the more my body began to reject it. The more smarter I got up here in my brain, the more I started like giving myself brain power by reading information on the body and the mind and the soul and psychology. The more I began to lose interest in things that was outside of myself that I felt like needed to make me feel good. Like I remember like just to go pick up a chick or something, I had to stop at the store and get me a Black and Mild just because I want to roll up and be feeling good off this black. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be feeling good off this Black and Mild. Like, yeah, what's up, girl? You know, what's up? You know, and I'm like, why do I have to do that in order to, like, get a check? Why? And so it's just a lot, man. It's a lot. Like, and like I said, I'm judge free. I don't judge nobody. I still got friends that do all of these things, and they cool with me. We all cool because I'm not the type of going around, you know, shoving this information down people's throat. This is my path. This is my journey. This is how I feel. You can take it or leave it. So no negative comments at the very bottom in the comment section. If you don't got nothing positive to say, don't say nothing at all. It's as simple as that. I'm judge free though. But I just thought I would give y'all this story or whatever because I just wanted to let you know why I stopped smoking marijuana. And if you plan on stopping it, you got to become more conscious. I mean, you got to become more enlightened. I mean, when you get enlightened, you'll realize that you need nothing out here to make you be great in here. You can be great and wonderful just with being yourself without even having to smoke anything. And that's the reality of it. I mean, you don't have to smoke anything to feel a higher level of potent conscious or knowledge. Like, that's all distractions. It's just lies. To me, it's just lies. It's just illusions that we've been taught. You know, just things we've been given to be distracted, to be off focus. Like, you know, like the government or, you know, whoever decided to create these different things or whatever, just put it out there so we can be distracted and so that we can't focus on our true selves who don't need anything external, any substance, any narcotics to get that high. Because you can get high off life if you are conscious enough to break away from all the things that have been put into your life by society. So I hope this message resonated with you. Give it a thumbs up if it resonated with you. Give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. I don't care. I'm just telling my story. So this is why I stopped smoking marijuana, cigarettes, and Black and Milds. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I make new videos every single day. Just subscribe over here in the bottom right-hand corner. Also, if you want to watch, you know, how I started smoking marijuana, if you want to learn more about like how I started in college and, you know, the things I was experiencing in college, I highly suggest you to go watch that fun video. And that video is right here. Okay, check it out. But in the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.